They say every town has its secrets, but in rural Ohio, those secrets run deep. Deeper than the roots of the black oak trees that line the dirt roads, deeper than the rusted pipes beneath the abandoned factories, even deeper than the graves left unmarked in overgrown cemeteries. The story I'm about to tell you isn't a campfire tale, nor a creepypasta passed around forums late at night. This is about a real house, a real family, and the kind of darkness that leaves scars long after the last stone has crumbled to dust. I grew up just a few miles from Ashwood Road, where the house once stood. Today, it's gone, demolished, bulldozed, and erased from county records. But the memories remain, and so do the whispers. In 1978, the Henderson family moved into the house on Ashwood Road. It was a two-story farmhouse built in the 1890s, weather-beaten but still standing proud against the surrounding fields. Locals avoided it. They said bad things happened there, but that wasn't unusual in small towns. Rumors grow like weeds when people don't have much else to talk about. For the Hendersons, it was a fresh start. Richard, the father, had just been laid off from the steel plant in Youngstown. His wife, Carol, was optimistic. She said the countryside would be good for their children, Michael and Sarah. The first few weeks seemed normal. They painted the walls, replaced broken windows, and turned the old barn into a play area for the kids. But neighbors began to notice strange things. Lights flickering in the upper windows when the family was outside. The children talking to someone unseen. Carol hanging laundry in the yard, only for the sheets to be found hours later, crumpled in the mud, as if yanked down by invisible hands. It was Sarah who first mentioned the other children. She was 5 years old, with blonde curls and a laugh that carried across the fields. But her laughter stopped the day she told her mother that a girl had visited her bedroom. "She has no eyes, Mommy, but she says she wants to play." At first, Carol dismissed it as imagination, but soon Michael, her older brother, began waking up screaming in the middle of the night, claiming he'd heard voices calling his name from the hallway. One evening, Richard returned late from town and found muddy prints on the porch, small, childlike prints, leading not out toward the fields, but inward, toward the house. The children were asleep upstairs. Carol had been reading in bed. The prints ended in the kitchen. By winter, the Hendersons were breaking down. Richard drank heavily. Carol begged him to leave the house, but he refused. They had sunk their savings into the place. Neighbors began avoiding them altogether. The mailman refused to deliver past the gate. The local pastor, when asked to bless the house, left after only a few minutes inside, pale and shaking. "I won't go back," he said simply. Then came the night of the storm. It was February 3rd, 1979. Wind howled through the trees. The power went out. Carol later told investigators that she heard the sound of children running through the upstairs hallway, though both her kids were in bed with her. At midnight, Richard went to check the breaker. He never came back. When deputies arrived the next morning, the house was freezing cold, despite the fire still burning in the hearth. Carol was hysterical. She kept repeating the same phrase, "The house took him." Search teams scoured the property. They found no trace of Richard Henderson. What they did find was far stranger. In the basement, beneath rotting floorboards, they uncovered a sealed stone well. The well was dry, choked with dirt and rubble, but at the very bottom, carved into the stone, were dozens of names, children's names. Many matched the records of children who had gone missing from the county between 1900 and 1950.
After Richard's disappearance, Carol was committed briefly to a psychiatric hospital. The children were placed in foster care. The house sat abandoned for years, but people still reported activity. Fishermen claimed they saw lights in the windows at night. Teenagers dared each other to step inside and reported hearing whispers. Hunters refused to go near the property, saying they heard children laughing in the cornfields. In 1986, a group of college students broke in to spend the night. Only 2 came out the next morning. The others were never found. Sheriff's reports were vague, but one deputy, who later retired, admitted under the table that what he saw inside the house wasn't human. By the 1990s, the county made the decision to demolish the house. They bulldozed it, filled in the basement, and salted the earth. Officially, the Henderson case remains unsolved. Richard Henderson is still missing, presumed dead. But even after the demolition, the land refused to stay quiet. People who moved nearby reported strange dreams. Machinery broke down near the site. In 2004, construction crews trying to build a new road stopped work after 2 workers vanished during a night shift. The land was abandoned again. I visited the site once, years later. The grass had grown wild. The foundations were nothing more than cracked stone and moss. But as I stood there, I felt it. That heavy, suffocating silence. And then I heard it. A child's laughter, soft and distant, drifting from where the front porch used to be. I didn't stay to listen. Some places are scarred forever. And some houses, even when they're gone, never really leave.